Yes, I'm 42 years old, I'm a little bit chubby, I've got a beard, and I'm wearing a Mr. Messy t-shirt. That's exactly how I am rolling today. Hang on. Hello everyone, and thanks very much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker, and it's about time we did another vlog. It's been a busy week, it really has. I can't remember what day my last vlog came out with. I've got a feeling, or came out on, I've got a feeling it was on last Monday. So yeah, there's been a lot crammed in there. So let's crack on. I'm going to try and keep my eye on the timer so I can shut off and restart every 15 minutes. Because cameras. At the same time, I've made a few notes, but not that many, to be fair. So I may be sort of floundering. This might just be a bit of a kind of a ramble on, and more than usual. But we'll see, shall we? Right. So then, got a little drink. Cheers. I need to get these big bastard cups made with Vaping Biker logos on them. That'd be cool. Now then. What have we done? What have we done? Got a bandage on. A couple of people have asked about it. It's been on in a couple of the last reviews. I've not done anything to my wrist, but since the infusion last Monday, I have got massive bruising kind of all up the side there, and a huge massive thing going on all around there. The bandage just about covers it up, but I just didn't think it looked very nice on camera, so I figured that you know, I'd look kind of like blue metal. and have a little blast with that. But yeah, so that's why I've got that on. So it's nothing dodgy. It's just you don't need to see gross stuff. So I've been keeping it covered up. Now then, I've got another infusion next Monday, by the way, just so you know. So pre-warning, next Monday won't have any videos. Now then, what have we got cracking on then? So we have done, let's have a little look through what's happened over the last week, shall we? Hold you on, tickly poos. You been alright? You been well? Really? It's challenging, isn't it? Right, my channel, here we go. So, we did 1 week ago, the vlog, 4th of September, Mex Juice, Bonkers Tank, and all manner of malarkey. So, that happened up, that seems to have gone down well. Thank you very much for watching that, if you're one of the people that have. So, after that came the Hurricane Junior review. Now, I said during that... review that it wasn't going to be a tank for everybody because of the price range, but also because, you know, maybe what your expectations are set at when you're looking at spending that kind of money. And sure enough, there were a lot of people in the comments going, "Oh, I wouldn't pay that, it's not worth that." And you know, fair enough, that's absolutely your prerogative. But it wasn't aimed at the people that generally will spend £20, and I'm one of those people as well. But it wouldn't work £20-30 on a tank. You can get a very, very similar, if not as good, vape from a cheapy tank as you can from a high-end tank. But it just differs. I don't know, in a whole bunch of ways. End of the day, if there is anything that's a little bit pricey, this week's been a bit of a pricey week, really. And yes, everything that I've looked at this past week, you probably can get cheaper, but does it do the same trick? Does it get made as well as those products? Does it have the, you know, the background behind it? Does it have the company behind it? Does it have any guarantees or kind of, you know, post production support, that kind of thing? I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of things that can kind of get involved, as well as always there's going to be having a certain name for a car. And I guess, yeah, for a car, I was thinking ahead of myself then, because I was thinking if it was a car, then I can go out and spend 800 quid on a I don't know, some kind of car that's going to get me around for ages. I mean, I had a lovely little BMW 330 recently. No, sorry, 520 even. 330 was one before. The 520 cost me like 600 quid, lasted me for a couple of years, or 700 quid, something like that. Lasted me for a couple of years. I sold it again recently, and it was a corker. Now then, I had a great driving experience with that, and if I'd have gone off and bought a Lambo, because clearly I'm on YouTube, so I'm way that rich, then, you know, it would have got me somewhere faster, but you know, that's not my kind of thing. So, you know, why would I want to go out and spend that kind of money if I had it? Why would I want to spend that kind of money on that kind of vehicle when something much cheaper does exactly this? Personally, for me, I would like an old Camaro or something like that. You know what I mean? But you know, when you've got something in mind because you really, really like it, then you're happy to spend the money for it. It's never going to be for everyone, and especially this kind of, that sort of niche area where the Hurricane Junior tank is in. It's not going to be for everyone. So you know, it just is what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. If we all like the same thing, it would be a dull old world. But anyway, as a result of that, I did sell it. So yeah, I figured someone else would get more of a benefit from it than I would. So that's gone. And I've heard today that the new owner just recently received it, which is great because I sent it off a bloody week ago. Royal Mail. Anyway, after that we did have the battery interview with Mooch. Now I'm so pleased to see how well that that video's gone down. So far we're at 8,622 views, and that's just a 3-day-old video. So I'm just really proud of that, because I'm really proud of the video, and I think it does certainly help the community, especially if you like mechs, but also, you know, we all use batteries of some kind, so it's good to have a little bit of backup information, and I think that video does give some of that, and it's got nothing to do with me being spectacular. That is all on Mooch. So a lot of people have said in the comments that it was really easy to watch and that it was really informative, and even though they thought they knew about battery safety or battery stuff, the video actually gave them a little bit more food for thought as well, and they've learned some more stuff, which I'm really proud of. So out of all of the things that I've done of late, that's one of my proudest things. So if you do watch it, if you do like it, please feel free to share, because even, you know, and I'm not trying to kind of be all, oh, look at me, but it's about battery safety, and it's something that a lot of people don't think about, and they don't think about it properly, and especially when it comes to choosing batteries and all that sort of stuff as well. They'll go onto eBay or Amazon, or not knowing what they're buying, and end up with some trust fires that are all going to go wrong. So you know, just have a look at it. If you like it, share it around. Let some people get the link for it, so they can see what's going on, because I think it's it's just something that I'm really proud of. So hopefully that continues to grow and more people get to see that. Now then, on top of that, we had our kind of mech week. Now the mech week actually ended out to be kind of a mech long weekend, because my planning didn't quite go to plan. Thanks to a bunch of technical issues with the computer, with storage, with Macs. If you're a Mac user and you look at your storage drive and you just see that whole bunch in yellow that says other, it can be an absolute bastard to find what's taking that other stuff up. It's a nightmare. Anyway, got it sorted. Lovely. And now we're back on the road again, so that's working. But yeah, there was issues, there was challenges, but we've overcome them. Yay us. So let's have a little look at these, shall we, and have a bit of a breakdown of these mods. So the first one that I did was the Rogue. Now this is the most expensive one of the three, with just a brilliant button, hard hitting, great machining, excuse me. And this is the one that had that kind of polyfiber spring in there, so when you're squeezing the button, that kind of does that, so that reduces any voltage loss, and at the same time reduces the chance of hot buttoning and all that sort of good guff. And I've got to say, as I said on the video, I stand by it absolutely 100%. Fly in the room, run away. I think it's a great mod. It's a really stiff switch. It's solid. I mean, it's heavy. It's a good heavy brass mod. I think it looks glorious, and I've been really happy with the performance. So yes, it comes with a much higher price tag, for, you know, it's fully American made and all that sort of gubbins. Once again, as I said with the Hurricane, if this isn't your jam, that's absolutely fine. But it is something for some people, and I think it really is a corker. It was a tough one, to be honest with you, to figure out which I preferred from these two, and these were the two that were the kind of the top runners for me, and that's the Rogue and the Broadside. The Rogue I thought was a hard-hitting, solid, quality mech. And the Broadside, I thought, was very hard hitting as well, particularly because it had a sprung 510, or a 510 in the top rather, but also because of all of the safety kind of aspects to it. You know, the having the Delirium sleeve inside, and you can see that that's all black in there because that's all Delirium. It just means that it's a joy to use, but they've also spent a lot of time working on safety, and I think that's always good. As we know, mechs are safe as long as you look after your batteries, you know your Ohm's law, and you build accordingly. But occasionally, I mean, a couple of people have mentioned since the Mooch video that, you know, if you'll put your battery in it upside down, if it catches on the threads, is there any chance of it gonna kind of tear the wrap and all that sort of stuff? And so that Delirium tube obviously just takes that out of the equation, which I think is great. Once again, I think the switch on this with the clutch system was fantastic. A few people have said in the comments, well, they've just ripped off the Sub-Zero. Well, the Sub-Zero's got a spring in it, for one. This doesn't, and I'm not entirely sure if the Sub-Zero were the first, or Sub-Zero Innovations were the first people to do it. I'm not entirely sure about that with the clutch side of expanding thing at the bottom. But either way, regardless of whether they were or not, you know, someone first used a spring, someone then went into magnets, and everything that followed thereafter isn't a clone of that device. So that just makes no sense. So you know, it's I think in its own right, this was the mid-priced one between the three that I looked at, and in its own right, I think that this was glorious. It looks the tits. It's once again nice and solid and nice and heavy. The button on it was great, lovely short throw. I do like that, and the safety aspect just made me very, very happy indeed. Then finally coming after that was the VCM, which we looked at yesterday. And once again, I think this was a really good mech. It's the button is kind of, you know, it's going back to magnets and all that sort of stuff, but having the permanently kind of in contact 510 or sorry, the pin in the bottom of the switch. If you didn't watch the video and you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check it out, because I think it's a really strong way of allowing it to be a good solid hitting mech. I haven't had any hot button issues or anything like that, but I've had a quality vaping experience with it. This is the cheapest one of the three. Now a couple of people have mentioned they weren't too keen on the sleeve. I believe the sleeve was kind of a throwback to the V1, but yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. I kind of like the sleeve, because if you're someone that doesn't like just a solid brass or solid copper mod that is going to patina really quickly, and you know, I've had some copper mods that certainly kind of make your hands go a bit funny and all that sort of stuff. You don't, not the Broadside though, not the Broadside, yeah, the Broadside, not that one. I've not had a problem with that for some reason. It just patinaed up lovely, as you saw in the video, and I thought it looked great then, just as much as it does when it's clean. But yeah, so with this, it does help if you're kind of sweaty of hand, or you're vaping away in the middle of summer. And I think it's a pretty decent mech. Now, one of the things that I'm surprised I didn't get more of, to be honest with you, because of the way I'm used to kind of getting a bunch of comments on YouTube these days, is people going, oh, well, you like everything, you like everything. Well, I don't like everything, for one. I had that discussion with someone on one of the comments recently. But number two is that with those three mechs, they were all super interesting because they had something different about them. The Rogue with that polyfiber spring, the Broadside with that sort of clutch control springless kind of button thing with a really short throw, and the VCM with the contacts around the pin. None of those I had before in previous mods, and I was certainly really interested in using them. And I've got to say, all three of those mods are really good. I'm confident in saying that if you purchase any one of those mods, you wouldn't be disappointed, and that, you know, that I think is the important thing. So it's great. It's great to have stuff that I really like and I'm kind of all into when I'm reviewing it, but at the same time, it does have the converse effect of me getting a lot of shit afterwards. But there you go. But with those three, I really actually do like the three mechs. And it's been brilliant to have a few days of just concentrating, well, not a few days, but a few days of videos just concentrating on mechs, because it's forced me to use a lot more mechanical stuff over the last maybe 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks since I've had them. Much longer for the Rogue, because I got that in Vape Fest, or at Vape Fest. So it's glorious to be able to spend some time back on that. It's brilliant playing with regulated devices, but now and again I do love to go back to using some mechs. Right, 15 minutes. Let's go up and we'll have we'll move to the next section. Oh, hold you on. And we're recording again. There we go. Totally forgot to stop recording the audio in that bit, so I'm going to have a sort of a time matching it up or doing any clapping. I didn't do any of that either. Anyway, I can't believe I did the VCM I did yesterday, and the whole tail end of the review, the whole kind of final thoughts bit, completely forgot to press record. What an idiot. Tell you. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. It's been a great, really good week. I've really enjoyed it. It's been one of them kind of weeks. So I'm really pleased. A lot of you have really liked the mech reviews as well. Hopefully there'll be some more of that, as long as there's different stuff that comes out, you know. Anything that comes out that's exactly the same as, you know, a mech was 2 years ago, or that, you know, the majority of mechs were 2 years ago or something, I don't really feel it's going to hold a massive amount of value unless there's something special with it, you know. And that's not cost related, by the way. That's going to be, you know, as a mech. So hopefully there'll be more come out, and when they do, hopefully I'll be able to bring them to you. Hang on, I'm having a vape. Right. So then, I think that's what's been going on for the last week. We can have a look at what I've been watching and all that shit if we get to the end of it and we've still got some time. So let's have a little look about what's come in, shall we? So Innokin have brought some stuff out, which I think is cool, and I really do think it's cool, especially because one of them so small I've just lost it. Here it is. Here it is. Right. Now, one of them is the Innokin Smartbox, which is a little tiny thing. This drip tip comes with the kit, and it's so ridiculous I had to put it on. It's brilliant. Oh, look at the size of it. But it does come with a regular drip tip. And this is an iSub V on the top of here, which I think as a tank are perfectly reasonable anyway. Now, essentially, this little mod here will just figure out what's going on. Now, it says it goes from mouth to lung or direct to lung. You don't switch power. It chooses it for you. And it chooses it where at the bottom there, you can see that there is a little kind of MTL and DTL. And when I press the button, that lights up. Now it lights up white when it's a direct to lung, and green when it's a mouth to lung, and it'll light up in sort of predominantly one side or the other. Now I think this is working mainly on resistance of coil. So if it's above a certain limit, it decides that it's a mouth to lung, and if it's a low coil, it's direct to lung. And I think that alters the power that it's putting into those coils. Now, whilst I have had this for, I don't know, maybe a week now, something like that, I've not actually used it that much, other than just having a little play with it when I've been watching the TV and all that sort of stuff. So I mean, as you can see, I have just refilled up that tank, and let's have a little toot. This drip tip's awesome. Obviously, that's going to the direct to lung side of things, and it's, you know, it's a reasonable little kit, and it's simple, and we like simple. And talking about simple, not me, but this is the second one that came up, and look, I'm using the pink one. They did send me multiple colours of these, but I am using the pink one in this instance, just because I've got two of them, and I'll give the black one away at some point. Now this, I think, is the tits. This is such a good idea. And let me tell you why. Right, so what we've got is a rechargeable device, no screen, no extra buttons, but there is a little spinny wheel at the back there. Is that going to focus? Is it focus like? Hang you on. Focus. Focus, focus, there we go. So that little spinny wheel there, that tells us sort of what kind of heat we've got going to the coil. And that's right, I said heat. And the reason I said that is because this is working on stainless coils. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you may remember me shouting from the rooftops last year, I think sometime, saying that what needs to happen is a super simple device that just works in temperature, because a new starter or quite often doesn't recognize when their coils are getting burned, and so doesn't recognize the power to put in things, and doesn't recognize the flavor. I mean, if you're a vapor, you generally know. But when you're learning to be a vapor, it's kind of, you know, it can be confusing. And I know plenty of people that have started and have been, oh, this tastes a bit funny. And you have a hit of it and you go, oh, that's a dry hit, that's why. So what they've done here is they've got this tiny little tank on, which they're calling an iClear 20D, that comes with stainless steel coils. I think they're only stainless steel coils, I believe so, and like I say, the spinny wheel at the bottom to give you 4 different temperatures to vape at. So that means you can get a decent little vape. Let me just have a little toot here. You can get a decent little vape from this little setup, and it's absolutely, you know, it's self-sufficient, which I think is brilliant. As a new starter, there's not really anything you can mess up, which I think is brilliant, because, you know, it's very, very easy to if you put a Nautilus on an iStick, for instance, back, you know, a couple of years ago, that was the thing, a mini Nautilus on an iStick 20, sort everyone out, which is great, but you still had the massive amount of variable power to go in there, and obviously nothing that sorted out the coils, whereas this has got only 4 types of vape available, with that wheelie thing, and yeah, it's super. Now, there is something on here which I think is a bit funky as well. I know people are going to complain about it, but I don't think it's a bad thing, and I think this is pretty good. This tank and this mod fit together, but they're the only things that will. No other tank will go on here, and this tank won't go on anything else. And that, I think, is great. And that's because this tank isn't designed for you if you're watching this video, generally. This tank is designed for a starter, a super simple, can't mess it up, can't put the wrong tank on, can't put the wrong coils in or the wrong, you know, whatever else on. It's just designed to work as it is, which I think is really, really good idea. I don't know what the price is on this yet, but if this is coming out sort of around the 30 quid mark, then I think that would be absolutely spot on. And this would then probably bang up to my kind of recommended new starter vape setup, to be honest with you. I really think it would. And like I say, you can get some decent clouds. My O-rings are still all a bit tight. Yes, I'll have a look for the video to find out about kind of reducing that airflow down and all that sort of stuff. But no, all in all, I think that is a cracker. So Innokin, bloody good job. I prefer this. So I like the simplicity of this. This is the sort of mod that you could throw in your pocket, single 18650, bang it in there, and then vape away all day or however long the battery lasts without worrying about it. But this is something you could give to your granny and get vaping straight away, which I think is spot on. And also, it's a decent little vape, and it's tiny as well. It's so dinky. Tiny little thing that you can throw in a pocket for a, you know, whatever you fancy. And like I say, clouds. So that's the Innokin stuff. They did also send me, actually, here we go, the Axiom tank. Now this kind of is interesting because I've got different sizes here. Now this was the original Axiom, I believe, and this is the sort of the mini version, which is considerably smaller. But yeah, I wasn't as taken with the Axiom as I was with the iSub-V. Oh, what was it called? What was it called? I think I've got it in my box of things to clean. But the iSub V, the little 2mm one, I thought that was the tits. I really did think that was awesome. So anyway, yeah, we'll give them a go. We'll see what they're like, and we'll crack on from there. But there we go. What else? What else? Oh yes, this came in. This is the Therion Squonker. So a single 18650 DNA 75 kicking over it in here. And it's the Squonker cousin of the Therion, which was this one. I've seen this one on Facebook recently, and I don't know what people are doing to the leather, but they're managing to really upset it somewhere along the line. I've had no problems with it at all, and even, you know, I've not really cleaned it or anything else. You can see it's kind of aging and all that stuff. I like it. Anyway, with this one, so let's have a quick chat about this, shall we? Let me see if I've got juice on the coils. No, we'll give it a little bit of a squonk first. Right, so the RDA that comes with it, not a fan. Not a fan, I've got to say. I'm not a fan of this Delirium at all. I don't like the, well, first of all, it's a straightforward 2-post build deck. Nothing to get excited about there. Why are we not focusing? There we go. Straightforward 2-post build deck with air coming directly under the coils. And if you do have the option on the top there, go on, focus, there we go, you can see that there are air holes along the top there as well. However, if you want to close off the bottom airflow, so God, why are you not going on? Right, so I am facing, shit me, this isn't working, is it? I am facing right, this bottom hole is going towards you, the top holes are going towards you as well. I just want to use the top holes, I don't want to use the bottom holes, so I'm going to spin that round. Now my top holes are all going all over the place, which I'm not a fan of. Also on top of that, I think the flavour is pretty not great on this, to be honest with you. And where the air holes come up from the deck, I think they're a little bit on the shallow side, so I have over squonked on this so many times, so easily. It's just been a bit of a pain. But it is a very airy RDA to help you get your first squonking if this is the sort of setup that you're going to go for. Now then, as the mod goes, it's been performing as a DNA 75 should do. The battery life is exactly how you would expect, so it's going to be massively dependent on your coils and the power that you're putting through them. I do kind of, having the bottle behind that door there is kind of okay, but it does mean that when you want to change the battery, you then have to pull your bottle out, set that down to one side. Then it's got this kind of black thing, which is which you think that you break every time you take it out. Your battery goes in there, that is wrapped, it's just got a clear wrapping. And this ribbon is far too long, I don't really understand why that's there. Anyway, so yeah, then to put that back in, you have to kind of find the sweet spot and give it a little push. Try and make sure your ribbon isn't in the way, which it inevitably always is. Are we in? We're in. Then you put your battery, your bottle back in, and then you're on again. So it's not a huge pain in the ass, but I don't know, the way this base is here, the shape of this would have been, oh hey look, no, shut up. Oh, I honestly thought I had it sussed. Sound off. Right, I've got a YouTube thing in an hour, so I'm gonna be cracking on. Yes, still got a couple of minutes left of this little section. Yeah, the way this is shaped under here, this is just begging to be a little kind of slider, isn't it? Just so you can pull the battery out from underneath, bang it back up, so you don't have to interrupt your bottle and all that sort of stuff. Just that as a little slider, pull out, spot on. That would have made this fantastic, in my opinion. As it is, I think they are going to be doing a whole bunch of different doors with the different leathers and all that sort of gubbins on it, which is good. Squonking ability is nice and easy with your finger. And delivery is as it should be. Now obviously I am going to carry on using this and give you a sort of more of a solid understanding when I do the full review, but I've had this, once again, I've had this for a week maybe, and so there's a lot more testing to be done. Something's wobbly as well. It's the drip tip because it screws in. Yeah, so I think the Delirium, I'm going to put a few different types of coil builds in there and see if that helps at all, but so far it's not winning any points from me on the old flavour side of things. Right, 15 minutes. Let's have a little turn off and turn on again. Oh. That really is going to help. I'm sure Grimm Green does that. All right, I'm sure he does that because that clap helps him sync up the sound and everything. I don't know. But it's a very clever way of doing it. Because also, did you know that that kind of thing, or clapping, or politicians doing that, or trainers or public speakers quite often will do that when they want to accentuate a point and get someone to pay attention. Yeah, little psychology for you there. Right, now then. What else have we got? What else have we got? We have an RDA. We have an RDA. Now, I've got this on... let's pop it on here, shall we? This came from Beyond Vape in America, which I thought was very nice of them. Now, this is called the Sleeper RDA. This is a 25mm, I think it is. Let me just check. Oh, no, 24, sorry. 24mm RDA. I've got my own drip tip on there at the moment from Gary Dibley, just because I think it looks classy as you like. Now we've got on the side there, we've got the airflow, so we've just got sort of a dual sleeve system, so you turn your air off like that. Top section comes off and it does allow you to build single coil, which I think is nice. But the party piece of this particular RDA is the build deck. Now we're a bit dry, but hopefully we can still see what we've got going on. Right, so hopefully you can see under that big old wide coil there, you've got kind of two kind of lengths of posts, if you like. So essentially you've got a little bit of an angle where the screw goes in at an angle, and then you've got a post with the holes that go down into the bottom, and it's a doddle to build on. Is my colour going all over the place? If I do that, that might help. So it's a doddle to build on. It really is. And I'm going through a whole bunch of different coils on here at the moment. This is my third coil that I've put in here to see what happens. It's a nice little squat, tiny little RDA, but it does also have a crap ton of airflow available as well. I'm starting to sweat a bit, you know. It's a bit bloody warm in here. Right, let's bang this up to 66.6. 66.6. Six. Tenacious D. That's what it's all about, you know. Right, here we go, 66.6. We're firing. It's not the quietest RDA, I've got to say. But I mean, that's with a lot of flavour in there. Let me turn that down. As with anything, if you do reduce the air a little bit, it does help the flavour a tad as well. So that's with the air closed down sort of quite a lot. So I've probably got about a third of it open at that point. Obviously, I've got air going in both sides. But if you want to, like I said, you can have an absolute single coil airflow option, which I think is interesting. Should we give that a go? Fuck it, let's wait for the review on that one, shall we? But no, all in all, I think it's a nice, sexy looking little RDA. This would be great as a squonker. I would like this as a squonker. Yeah, the deck is reasonable for it. The posts are easy to build on. The wick is easy to situate around, just raring to all the juice. And yes, there we go. So Beyond Vape, if you're watching this, squonk it. Get a squonking centre pin in there. That would be the tits. and it'd be nice to see a different kind of deck with a squonker in it as well. That'd be good. So yeah, that's going to be coming up for review. Obviously, as with everything, plenty of time needed with it. Now then, what else have I got? Now, I did my Goblin Mini V3 review. I've got it with the 4mm extension on it at the moment. And I've got another Gary Dibley drip tip on there just because it matches so well with this box. Now, I reviewed the box some time ago. This is one from Matt at M-Vapes in the UK, and I originally had a catch cup on it on the top, which is great for 22mm atomizers. However, seeing as I'm using so many atomizers that are not 22mm anymore, thanks Vaping World, I couldn't use the box, so I sent it back to him to put a flat 510 in there. And he did a couple of other improvements as well. But look at the surround on the potentiometer there. So we've got the mod meter in the middle there. We've got the stainless button, the stainless surround about the potentiometer, and doesn't that look classy AF? You know, I think that looks lovely. It's a little bit dried out now because I've been using it a lot, so I'm going to have to wax it up shortly. I think he may actually provide you with wax if you do buy one as well. But I've been having a corking little time with this. Absolutely fabulous. So yeah, so I'll start putting different tanks on here now. But yeah, this has been another one of my kind of little setups of just sitting in the living room and vaping away and using this because it's marvellous. At a massive 37 watts, by the way. And I did put, this is a thinner bore drip tip from Gary as well, which I think just complements the airflow nicely. So it just makes the draw a lot nicer in my opinion on the old Goblin Mini there. But single coil in there as well. But I have been loving the crap out of that, so that's been good. Now then, I think that covers everything. Oh, the one thing I did buy, if you saw my pictures, I did buy 8 of these from Evolution Vaping recently. These are the LG HD2C, because I wanted a bunch of batteries that were going to be really useful and worthwhile and decent for my mech week. And so, you know, I did buy a bunch of those, and I can't remember if I bought those before the last vlog or not. Or I just didn't mention them. I can't remember. I've had them a little bit anyway. But I bought 8 of them. Because, you know, you can never have too many batteries. And they're little crackers. They really are. Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, now then. Remember that iJoy Lux thing that I reviewed that I didn't like at all? The interesting thing, if you have one of those, look on Battery Mooch's page on ECF or on Facebook. The iJoy batteries that come with it are actually pretty damn good. Now, up till now, in my Super Wizzy Abstract box here, I have been using the Bassin 3500 mAh black jobbies, because I think Mooch kind of like those ones. But I've actually been using the iJoy ones in here recently, and they're pretty damn sweet, you know. They are pretty good. That's a bit in the back of my throat. Right? Hang you on. So yes, so if you've got one of those, and you're well, depending on however you feel about the mod, but you also have another 26650 regulated mod, try banging those batteries in there as well. Now this is the VGod Trick Tank Pro that hopefully is going to come out this week, because I've had it for bloody ages, and I still think it's a reasonable tank, but I don't think it's the best of its ilk, unfortunately. I think, well, I'll go into it in the reviews, but I think the wick holes are just far too small for one thing, and yeah. This will be an interesting review to do, so that will be out this week. Been using the crap out of it, so away you go. And it doesn't. Hopefully they'll come out with a V2 of that, which will make it better. But we'll come to that later. Is there anything else? There's nothing else new in. I've put a section in my notes just saying random. Nice. One of the things that I've had, I told you last time about all of the Wotofo stuff that I had in, and I've got the Wotofo Serpent Mini 25mm. Now this has been a strange little bugger, this has, because when I put it on DNA boards, it's been fine and dandy. But some mods I've put this on and the resistance is reading all over the show, and I just don't get why. I don't understand it. I've tried breaking it down, I've tried cleaning it, I've tried doing a whole bunch of things, but some mods it's fine, some mods it isn't. So I honestly have no idea what the hell's going on. Have got another one to try, I just haven't got around to doing it yet. Once again with this one, it is quite, I mean it's quite large, but it's quite loud. Pop a drip tip on there. This is one of the Wotofo ones. Oh, super thick O-rings, right. Do you hear that? So it is quite a loud tank, but you know, that'll be coming up for. Will it be coming up for review? Will it be coming up for review? I don't know. Let's have a little bit more of a play about with it first before we worry about that, shall we? Oh, literally before I started recording, I did get a box come in. I'm not going to show you the front of it because it's got my address. So I figured we may as well have a little unpackaging together, shall we? Let's do that. I think this is from Wotofo also. Look at the amount of tape on there. How do you get into that, really? So let's have a little look, see what's in here. Panic then, thought I was breaking it. Right, now then, this, I think, oh, this has the new Freak Show in it. The new Freak Show. The V2 Freak Show, lovely old job. What else have we got? Serpent Sub. Now, the Serpent Sub. Here's a little thing. Don't know why they sent it to me again because they've already sent me one. But that's the Serpent Sub. I put the black O-rings in it. And I tell you what, you know, it's loud. Ish, kind of, maybe. But for a sub tank that you can also put Kanga coils in, I'm pretty bloody surprised by it, to be honest with you. I think it's actually quite reasonable. Okay, so they've sent me a few. I've really got to do my charity giveaway or raffle. I've really got to get that sorted out. Sharpish. I've been saying about it for ages and not managed to do it. I am also going to be doing a raffle for my Q class that I reviewed, my SX Mini Q class, because that's going to be on by itself rather than a sort of thrown into the mix with a bunch of other things. So just to be aware, just to let you know about that one. Right, let's have a little look at this Freak Show V2. Now you may have got a Freak Show. I've got the Freak Show Mini. Can't believe I've still got that. That was the little Freak Show Mini, and that had the undercoil airflow going on with the little skeleton chappy on there, and I think the tall one was, well, it was the same. Can't remember if I reviewed it back in the day or not. Back in the day. A year ago, you're tired. Right. Oh. Now, I like the look of this. Have you seen Stranger Things on telly? Have you seen that? This engraving really reminds me of that logo, I think. You see that? Kind of ish. Don't know. Anyway, I like shiny RDAs at the minute, and that kind of polished stainless I think looks the tit. Right, let's have a little look and see what we've got going. This is nice. Hey, we're all learning together. One of my little build deck thingies here from Standout Stands. Absolutely useful. Absolutely useful, and the way forward. So it looks like we have the options of a buttload of air going on with the top cap there. See all them holes? See all them holes? Look at them, look. Right. Take the barrel off. A little bit thin, but that's reasonable. The barrel, we've got the bottom airflow option there and two up the side. And then underneath, hey, we've got a velocity style deck. but we have got under coil airflow going on right there. Now the good thing about this is that they are quite high, which I think is nice, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to over drip on them. Let's just pop a little bit of juice around the O-rings before I pop that cap back on again. Da 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 da. Remember to lube up your O-rings. Everything's better with lube. Oh dear. Right. Let's have just a little fanning about with this. If I turn that airflow off so it's just the bottom, that's not quite, is it? Holy shit. All the airflow open. Right, well that's not quiet, not by any stretch, but it's airy. I'm going to put a build on that today. I'll put a picture up on Instagram later on, but that is the new Freak Show Mini. They got rid of the little skeleton chappy and just put a crap ton of holes in there instead. But I think looks a little bit funky with all them holes on the side there, but I think it doesn't look too bad. Right, let's 15 minutes. Hold you on. No, right. Back to it again. Turn my little thing off that goes. There we go. So yes, so I'm going to stick a build in here today, and we'll have a little crack on with that. I'm looking forward. It comes with a dirty, great big, thick chuff style cap in the top there. So I think this could be a bottom feeder that I'm quite happy with. Maybe we'll see. And so the serpent subs that they've sent me are. That's a black one. I don't want to open a black one. Small charge falling down outside. The serpent subs they've sent me are 25mm. Are there any other 25mm sub tanks out there at the minute? I don't review tanks, so I don't know. Let's have a little. It's a beast. It's a beast. Look at the size of that fucker. Look at that. Hey? Hey? That's not... there you go. There's the two side by side. I suppose there's not really that much in them, but there's enough. There's enough. The airflow is a little more restricted than I thought. And I imagine that's because of whilst they've got two dirty grey holes at the base there, I imagine what's going through the coil itself is being quite restrictive. But, yeah. Sometimes it's nice just to be lazy and just dump something on there and change out a coil. So you never know. That might be okay. Now then, one of the things I'm thinking about doing when it comes to all this Wotofo gear, because there's just so much of it. I mean, literally, I could do 7 different reviews on Wotofo stuff at the moment, something like that. And there'll be a bunch of kind of repetition, I guess, and all that sort of good stuff. So please tell me if you think it's a good idea, because I'm thinking about doing one Wotofo video just with a bunch of Wotofo products in there, just so I can get the video done without having to do it 19,000 times. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, because I think that's a nice way of condensing everything, and it's kind of showing you everything that Wotofo are doing at the moment, which I think is cool. What else? Now, I haven't done the review on the Tesla 3 yet because I haven't had time. But one of the things that I was doing yesterday is I was using it to charge my mobile phone, and because I thought it was quite a handy piece of kit. It kind of got a little way of the charge. Then I took the phone off it to do something else. I put it back together again, and it wouldn't do anything. It just wouldn't charge. Now I'm not sure if that's because it's only showing the top two HMI flippies of the battery, so there's not enough juice to push it through. So I'm going to charge this up today and see how we get on, because I do want to do this and the 40 watt mini. I want to get this review out this week as well. So yeah, so I want to find out what the score is there, because like I say, it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. And you would think that if there's power in it and it is classed as essentially a power bank as well as a mod, that it would work, but it didn't. And I did use the lead that came with it, as well as other ones as well. So I don't know what's going on there, not a clue, no idea. Now the other thing that I do want to get into the review, just because I maintain that it is the most awesome tank that I've had, is the dump tank, the 40mm dump tank from Vapegeek. I have now put a bunch of builds in this. There is a little bit of a trick to getting your wicking right, and so it doesn't leak, but once you've got that down, then it's a little cracker. 99.9 watts. And it's just still the most absurd. It still makes me smile. It's the most absurd tank in the world. It's bloody marvellous. And if you didn't see me talk about it in the last vlog, not only is this 40mm wide and holds 17 millilitres of fluid, but it also has a 30mm build deck, which is just huge. So you can put in whatever you damn well please in this, which is mental. It's crazy, and I'll tell you what, the flavour isn't horrific either. But I guess when you're producing that much vapor, you're going to get a reasonable flavour, aren't you? So anyway, that is that. That's been a whole bunch of new stuff that's come in. I told you I'm still a bit broken. I've got a new box that I found in the spare room, like a big speaker thing under my monitor here now. So rather than looking down at my monitor, I'm looking up. But now it means I can listen to tunes from the phone when I'm doing stuff on the computer without taking up memory, which is good. You don't need to know about that. No one cares. What else? What else? I have still been using this Daedalus setup for making Claptons, and I still think it's ridiculously easy and ridiculously simple, and I'm loving using it. I'm absolutely loving using it. That's what it's called. Is that how you pronounce it? Daedalus? That. And this came from Grey Haze. I've not got around to doing the build video with it yet, but I will do, because there is a whole bunch of things in there that help you with doing kind of multi-core things like aliens and all that sort of stuff as well. So I do want to get into that at some point, when I can figure out how to do aliens properly. I've had some pretty poor attempts if you've seen my Facebook or Instagram recently. I almost got it on the last one, but not quite. And you go through a lot of wire when you're learning. Oh. Now then, I think that's it, guys and girls. I really do. Some people have been asking me about what I used for the cleaning video. I put this in the Broadside video. That is the stuff that I'm now using to clean my mechs, because I picked it up in a car place, like a, I don't know, can't even remember where I picked it up from, but it's Juris. Yeah, it's made by those guys, and I think it's really, really good. I think it's a German affair, and yeah, not suitable for anodized aluminium and fine silver, so don't use this on anodized aluminium or fine silver. But for copper and brass, that's been working an absolute treat, as you may have seen if you saw the Broadside video. I think we've sussed it with the desk now. I'm tapping away at the desk, and hopefully if I put a mod down, that's not going boom. So I think we've sussed that now. That's good. No, I think we are all gravy. I've got a feeling something else has come in recently that I've not brought up. I'm still loving the Grimm line of e-liquid, which came to me from M-Vapes.co.uk. I'm still loving these. In fact, my favourite one is not that one. It's not Bro Trip or Vlog Day, it's Normal View. That's the one. I'm really, really digging that at the moment. And strangely enough, works really well at low wattage. I've got it in the Nautilus X at the moment, pumping out a massive 16 watts with the new 1.8 coils, and it's bloody glorious. It's really nice. I did get sent a bunch of juice, this Mango Me stuff. That came from Beyond Vape. So we've got a sort of a Mango Me pineapple. We've got Mango Me milkshake, Mango Me Mango OG, and there's another one as well, which is this Summer Delight stuff. It's okay. It's okay. But mango's a funny old taste, isn't it? If you're not used to it, mango is a bit of a... It could taste a little bit like feet. But I'm gonna sort of have a proper taste of those over the next week and see how we crack on. But no, otherwise, I think we're all good, guys. I think we're all good. How long is this? Going to be like a 45-minute vlog, maybe? I don't know. Right, I'm going to have a little vape on this little starter setup again because I think it's a tits. And like I say, I think the fact that only this tank fits this is in no way a negative thing. I think that's a cracker. Obviously, they're not going to do it with everything else because that'll completely knacker up their line of products. But, you know, because this takes away all mistakes from a new starter point of view, which I think is really bloody good. Right. Oh, I did say I was going to say what I was going to be, what I have been watching. Do you care about what I've been watching? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Casey Neistat. Been watching a bit of him. Oh, Suck My Mod did the Freemax Star Pure thing, which is this tank, which I have shown you before, not got around to reviewing, but pretty much everyone's saying it's a pretty reasonable tank, and that's because it really is. It's got the ceramic outer edge to the coil thingy, and don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, you're not going to be able to see. You're not going to be able to see anything going on there. But no, I think the flavour on it is pretty good. Airflow is pretty good. It's pretty quiet. The airflow, now, here's my way of explaining this, which is going to make no sense to anyone. It's a bit empty. Because it's this top down, going down, and then it comes up, and then it goes up. It seems like there's a lot of, it's kind of like kicking a football in a warehouse. Does that make sense? Probably not. But that's what it means to me. Anyway, even with that, I think the flavour on it is pretty reasonable. So if you want a big bastard tank that holds a decent amount of juice and has coils in it, then that's actually a good one to look at. But as you know, I don't do tanks really that often. So yeah, when I've been trying to play catch up with the review queue, I'm having to be a bit ruthless, to be honest with you. What else is going on? Vape vlog, including the Night V2 from Vaping V1CK. I turned down the V2 purely because they've got another mod which looks just like a blatant rip-off of the Relo 2/3, so I didn't fancy it. So there will be a bunch of others on it. What else? Matt and V have their Matt and V vlogging channel and have done a video called So Creepy. It really is. It really is. I'm not even going to lie about it. Grimm's vlog, obviously, watch that. That's just, you have to. Mr. Todd's vlog, watch that as well. Oh, I watched his review as well of something that I can't pronounce. Can't remember the name of it. No one will ever remember the name of it. And I can't even find the view. Here we go. The IAI V2 by VCSC. There we go, one of them. That looks an interesting little RDA for sure. But is there anything else cracking on in there that's been worthwhile me shouting at you and telling you about? No. A few people are starting to come out with the Dot Mod Petrie RTA, which looks very flashy. Interesting to see what that's like. Don't know if I'm going to get one, but that's an interesting little tank for sure. I think that's about it, really. I think that is about it. Yeah, I can't see anything else that I've really kind of got excited about. Obviously, I watched Vaping Bogan and Innokin Vaper as well. Although, John, you're being lazy. Pull out some more videos, please. Yeah, there we go. That's all I got to say about that. So I'm really off now. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Dean the Vaping Biker. This has been me rambling on about a load of old crap. As always, I love seeing your comments down below. Thank you very much for everyone that's both watched the videos over the last week and have commented as well. especially all the love that we've had on the battery video. I know both myself and Mooch have been quite shocked at how well it's gone down, and about all the lovely comments that have gone underneath, so thank you very, very much for that. If you like what you've seen on this or any of the rest of the channel, click subscribe, hit a like and do all that sort of stuff. If you hate it, click subscribe and see if I'm still shit in a week. But thanks very much for watching. Have it large!